It's Jessica here, and I wanted to make a little video for you to talk about the dreaded thing that always happens in this business. No matter if you are brand new, you just signed up today, or, sorry, bra straps in the way, or you've been doing this for 2 years like I have. It doesn't matter. No one is immune to this, and it's being ignored. We all get ignored. And I want to talk to you about why that is. Why do we get ignored in this business? And it seems like really rude, right? You put some effort into messaging someone about the opportunity to join. You put an effort to talk to them about hosting a party for you, or maybe just checking out your website, and you get ignored. You also can get ignored by your team. Like, it's really frustrating sometimes. Sometimes you send a message to your team and maybe you're just asking them about their goals, or maybe you're giving them a compliment, great job, whatever. So, how do you overcome this? How do you become okay with it? Because I'm going to tell you now, if you're not okay with being rejected, which ignoring is a form of rejection, you're going to have a really hard, tough road. And I'm going to be perfectly honest about that. So something you have to do first is you have to work on yourself. You have to work on what's up here and how you process information and how resilient you are to things. So for me, I'm a Black status presenter. I still get ignored all the time by friends, by family, by acquaintances, by my presenters, by my leaders. I get ignored all the time. And I think it's something, part of our culture, at least I can speak for American culture. We feel really safe when we're behind a computer. We feel like it's this totally different form of communication, and we're in total control of it. So we can choose what we like. We can choose what we comment on. We can choose, what we post and what we respond to. So I think the etiquette sometimes for Facebook, especially, I'm just a mess. Ever since I had babies, I get like this, I have this little crown of hair that's like growing back or something. It's crazy. Anyway, we have this etiquette on Facebook that, seriously? Seriously? My hair's all wet because I just showered, but okay. We have this etiquette on Facebook, and we think it's okay to ignore people because it's so much easier to ignore than it is to say no. Right? As women, it is so hard for us to say no. And actually, I've gotten to the point where now, if someone tells me no, I actually kind of look at them like, well, thank you for responding. And that's awesome that you can feel comfortable saying no, that you can stand your ground and be like, no, it's not for me, or no, I just don't, I'm not interested, or whatever it is. When I have someone that I've messaged about something and they come back to me with, a pretty definite no real wiggle room in there, that speaks volumes, because it's hard for a lot of women to say no. So I actually think that's kind of cool when people can stand up and make a decision for themselves, because it's so easy to ignore. And unfortunately, ignores hurt a lot more than the no's do. The no's can feel uncomfortable. It's, flat out rejection, right? Sometimes the ignores, you feel like, oh, well, maybe there's a little bit of wiggle room there. Maybe I can contact them again in a month or a couple months or whatever it is. And that might be true, but you have to be okay with all forms of rejection. And I say that with a smile on my face because, it's hard. It takes time and understanding and self-reflection and personal development to understand that it's okay for people to say no to you. It's totally okay because it doesn't mean that you are a bad person. It doesn't mean that your products suck. It doesn't mean that. It means no. That's all it means. So if they say, no, I just don't have time right now for a party, let it go and maybe revisit it in a few months. You never know. Something I would really recommend doing, anyone that gives you no's, work on your attraction marketing with them a little bit. Something really great that you can do is really easy. Just start being more visible to them. So, like their posts, comment on any pictures. Now, don't get crazy. Don't start spamming and stalking them. You know, when people go into your, when people have gone like into your photo albums or something and they're all of a sudden liking these old pictures, you feel stalked. Don't do that. But just start attraction marketing a little bit with them, because the more you interact with them on their page in their safe place, maybe they'll see a little bit more of what you post, and maybe they'll be a little bit more receptive in the future. I can't tell you how many people have joined my team or had a party or bought from me after watching me for a year, for 2 years. It's crazy the amount of people I have attracted just by being normal, just by communicating and developing a relationship. We all, especially women, I think, we all want to develop relationships with people. We want to feel connected. It's a human nature kind of thing. We want to feel like we belong somewhere. We want to feel, accepted. We want to feel like we matter. And as you know, if you're a presenter in this business, you know that that's a big part of what we do. That's a big part of what leaders do. We speak to, cheering people on, shouting them out, and doing, all that kind of stuff. But getting people to join your team is an art form, and it's called attraction marketing. And there's a lot of different facets of it. So you have to kind of learn that art form, just like you have to learn the art form of makeup. It's an art. You can't just slap a picture on Facebook and say, everyone buy this mascara. It doesn't work, especially doesn't work on a consistent basis. So when people ignore you, even the ones that really sting a lot, like your close friends or close family, they ignore you. A lot of times they feel like maybe you're being disingenuous. Maybe you're not being real. Maybe they're just not ready. Maybe they don't believe you yet. So let them be skeptical. Let them watch you from afar and see what happens. You work on what you can control. You cannot control how they feel at all. You can't control if they're going to ignore you, say no, say yes. You can't control that. So you have to be okay with whatever the outcome is. When you, message people about parties or buying or joining your team or whatever it is, you should be really amped up and excited and positive and feel really good about it. And that'll help you be resilient and bounce back from any rejection you get. But I'm here to tell you, the rejection is okay. Like, I know that it stings, but it's okay. It's going to make you grow. And a lot of those people that say no will say yes later, especially if you work on you. You work on you being a really good, really knowledgeable, really, really awesome presenter. If you know your makeup, you know everything about this business, if you can lead your team and you're working on personal development and you're watching the leaders that have paved the way for all of us, not just in this business, but in other businesses, Mary Kay, everyone. Sorry, I can't think of like a billion right now, but you know what I'm talking about. There's so many great leaders and you can pick up and become amazing. Okay, so just don't be afraid of the ignores. It's going to happen. It's going to happen at every single level, and you've got to be okay with it if you want to really succeed in this business. And let me tell you a little fact too. Once I became okay with the rejection, once I got, all these no's and, my upline was telling me it's okay, rejection's okay. And I was seeing it from other, Black status presenters. They were saying, be okay with the no and all that stuff. Once that really sunk in, I am so much more okay with rejection in my whole life outside of, Facebook land. I am. Um, I'm 33 years old. I have 2 kids. I'm married, and I have this successful business. And I'm a retired teacher, and I don't have 30 best friends. That just doesn't happen like once you get older. Especially since I live somewhere totally different than where I grew up. I grew up in California and I now live in Missouri. And I went to college in Illinois. So I've kind of been around. And um, something that I'm realizing is that it's not, being ignored or not being in, the cool circle or whatever, you feel like you're in. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It just means no. It just means that that's not the right fit, or maybe that's not the right friend, or not the right people, or not the right church, or, whatever it is. Rejection is okay. You're going to be okay. Like, it's not going to physically hurt you. You're going to be okay. Okay? So if you ever feel like you're so down from being rejected, talk to your upline, talk to your team, talk to someone you trust. Don't rant about it on Facebook or anything. And we'll tell you it's okay. You can jump right back and you're going to have some amazing success and love every minute of it. Okay? So be okay with the no. Understand it's just part of the business and work on that attraction marketing because those no's will turn into yeses later. Promise. Bye.